Have you ever wondered why so many ancient traditions spoke of a hidden eye within us? An eye that does not see the outer world, but instead perceives realms beyond the physical? The Egyptians carved it into stone as the Eye of Horus. The Hindus depicted it as the third eye at the center of the forehead. Even the philosopher Descartes declared it the seat of the soul. And yet, in modern times, this mysterious organ has been dismissed as little more than a tiny gland buried deep in the brain. But what if it is more than that? What if the pineal gland is a bridge between the seen and the unseen? A doorway into the very mysteries of existence. The pineal gland is no bigger than a grain of rice, and yet mystics, sages, and seekers throughout history have given it a level of reverence that seems out of proportion to its size. It has been called the third eye, the inner sun, and even the gateway to the divine. Why? Because within this small, pinecone-shaped gland lies a secret that science is only beginning to touch, while spirituality has hinted at for thousands of years. Imagine for a moment a radio antenna. To most, it is nothing but a metal rod, lifeless and unimpressive. But tuned to the right frequency, it suddenly captures voices, music, and signals from worlds beyond the visible. The pineal gland, many believe, is just such an antenna, capable of tuning us into higher states of consciousness, inner visions, and even dimensions beyond ordinary perception. In this video, we will explore the great mystery of the pineal gland. We will uncover its place in ancient spiritual traditions, trace its role in philosophy and esoteric teachings, and look at how modern science both confirms and obscures its power. We will break down what this gland actually does, why it has been called the third eye, and what practical steps you can take to activate and protect it. Stay with me until the end, because once you understand the true nature of the pineal gland, you will begin to see why so many ancient civilizations guarded its secrets so carefully, and why awakening it may be the key to unlocking the hidden potential of your own mind and spirit. The fascination with the pineal gland is not a modern invention. It stretches back thousands of years, woven into the fabric of spiritual and philosophical thought. In ancient Egypt, the Eye of Horus, a symbol that appears on countless temple walls, amulets, and sacred texts, was not merely decorative. It represented perception beyond the material world, the ability to see hidden truths. Scholars suggest that the Eye of Horus may correspond to the location of the pineal gland in the human brain, hinting that the Egyptians had an esoteric understanding of its power long before modern anatomy described it. In Eastern traditions, the pineal gland takes center stage as the third eye, or Ajna chakra. Hindu texts describe it as the seat of intuition, insight, and spiritual illumination. Meditation techniques, yogic practices, and even certain mantras were designed to awaken this center, allowing practitioners to perceive subtle energies, access higher consciousness, and experience states of profound clarity. Similarly, Tibetan Buddhism links the third eye to the Eye of Wisdom, a symbol of enlightenment that perceives reality beyond illusion. Across cultures, the pineal gland emerges as a universal marker of inner vision. Even Western philosophy recognized its singular significance. René Descartes, often called the father of modern philosophy, declared the pineal gland to be the seat of the soul, reasoning that it was the point of connection between the immaterial mind and the physical body. While many dismissed his claim as speculative, Descartes' intuition aligns uncannily with the mystical traditions that place consciousness at the core of this tiny gland. Later thinkers, alchemists, and esoteric schools, from Hermeticists to Rosicrucians, continued to emphasize its importance, often referring to it as a gateway to spiritual transformation, a hidden organ capable of perceiving invisible realities. Ancient texts also suggest that the pineal gland was considered a vital tool in human evolution, a bridge between the mundane and the divine. The Taoist alchemists of China spoke of cultivating the immortal embryo within the body, a process closely associated with awakening the third eye and activating the body's subtle energies. In the Western esoteric tradition, initiates were instructed to purify the pineal gland through diet, meditation, and ritual, highlighting its centrality in achieving spiritual illumination. In short, across time and geography, cultures recognized a strange, sacred, and powerful organ within the human brain. While the names, myths, and symbols differed, the message was consistent. Within this small pinecone-shaped gland lies the key to perception beyond ordinary senses, a tool for connecting with realms unseen and tapping into the deepest mysteries of life. The historical record reveals not only the spiritual importance of the pineal gland, but also the way in which it has been carefully guarded. Civilizations understood that awakening it prematurely or without proper guidance could be dangerous, a truth that adds a sense of gravity to our exploration. In the next section, we will begin to examine the core aspects of the pineal gland itself, its biology, its hidden properties, and why so many believe it functions as more than just a simple endocrine organ. To understand the mystery of the pineal gland, we must first look at it through both the lens of science and the lens of the mystical. Biologically, the pineal gland is a tiny endocrine organ, no larger than a grain of rice, nestled deep between the two hemispheres of the brain. Its primary known function is the production of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep cycles and seasonal rhythms. On the surface, it seems unremarkable, a small gland helping us sleep at night. Yet the more we investigate, the more we discover a structure that defies conventional understanding. The pineal gland is unlike any other organ in the human body. It is not protected by the blood-brain barrier in the same way as other brain structures, making it uniquely sensitive to both internal and external stimuli. Ancient mystics may have recognized this sensitivity long before we had microscopes or biochemistry. Its pinecone shape, repeated throughout nature and architecture, is not mere coincidence. It may reflect a universal pattern, a hidden symbol of spiritual growth, regeneration, and enlightenment. Consider the concept of light. The pineal gland is photosensitive, meaning it responds to light in ways that are surprisingly complex. In animals, it is directly connected to circadian rhythms through light detection. But in humans, its latent sensitivity could be much more profound. Many spiritual traditions describe a connection between the pineal gland and inner illumination, the awakening of the so-called third eye. Ancient texts speak of inner suns and light within, suggesting that this gland is a receptor, a conduit for energies that are imperceptible to the ordinary senses. Melatonin itself is only part of the story. The pineal gland also produces dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, a naturally occurring compound often referred to as the spirit molecule. DMT is associated with extraordinary visions, out-of-body experiences, and encounters with otherworldly realms. The presence of DMT in the pineal gland hints at a physiological basis for mystical experiences, a built-in mechanism that allows the brain to access states beyond ordinary reality. Ancient initiates may have discovered methods to stimulate these experiences deliberately, using fasting, meditation, or ritual practices to unlock hidden dimensions of consciousness. Metaphorically, the pineal gland functions like a lighthouse in the night, a small beacon that can guide the mind to uncharted waters. When it is dormant or calcified, a condition modern science has linked to aging, fluoride exposure, and poor diet, the light is dim, and perception remains limited to the material world. When activated, it is said to illuminate inner landscapes, revealing the interconnectedness of mind, body, and cosmos. In practical terms, understanding the pineal gland is not simply about anatomy. It is about recognizing the interface between the physical and the spiritual. It is both a biological organ and a metaphysical gateway. Ancient sages seem to understand this dual nature, and modern science is only beginning to scratch the surface. In the next section, We will continue exploring its deeper functions, hidden properties, and the mystical phenomena associated with its activation, digging into why this tiny gland has been called the ultimate key to spiritual awakening. The deeper we explore the pineal gland, the more it reveals itself as a bridge between worlds, the tangible and the intangible, the seen and the unseen. While science describes its endocrine functions, mystics insist it holds capacities that defy conventional explanation. One of the most striking aspects is its potential role as a receptor for subtle energies. Some theorists suggest that the pineal gland is exquisitely tuned to electromagnetic frequencies, capable of detecting vibrations beyond ordinary perception, much like a finely crafted instrument responding to unseen notes in a cosmic symphony. This idea aligns with ancient teachings. Hermetic texts describe the pineal gland as the eye that sees all, capable of perceiving the hidden currents of the universe. In practical terms, when this gland is activated or purified, practitioners report experiences that go beyond imagination. Glimpses of higher dimensions, encounters with archetypal energies, and even a sense of merging with universal consciousness. Some traditions claim that these experiences are not just visionary, they are transformative, fundamentally altering the mind's capacity for insight, intuition, and wisdom. The phenomenon of calcification also adds another layer to the mystery. Modern studies have found that the pineal gland tends to accumulate calcium deposits as we age, often accelerated by environmental factors such as fluoride, poor diet, or lack of exposure to natural light. Esoteric teachings suggest that these deposits are not merely physical, they symbolize the closing of the inner eye, a dulling of spiritual perception. Practices such as meditation, fasting, and energy work are believed to decalcify and awaken the gland, restoring its function as a gateway to higher consciousness. One fascinating aspect is the connection between the pineal gland and mystical light experiences. Many adepts and mystics report seeing internal light, a radiance that originates in the center of the forehead during deep meditation or heightened states of awareness. This inner sun may be more than metaphorical. It could be the direct experience of the pineal gland's activity, the body's own source of spiritual illumination. The philosopher and scientist alike may have struggled to articulate these experiences, yet countless eyewitness accounts suggest a reproducible phenomenon that bridges biology and spirituality. Moreover, the pineal gland may serve as a key to understanding the human experience of time, consciousness, and dream states. Its secretion of DMT and regulation of circadian rhythms suggests a link between altered perception and temporal awareness, allowing the mind to perceive realities beyond the linear flow of time. Shamans, yogis, and mystics throughout history may have tapped into this hidden function, navigating dreamscapes and spiritual dimensions with a precision that modern science has only begun to glimpse. In essence, the pineal gland is not merely a biological curiosity, it is a metaphysical interface, a channel for consciousness itself. Its potential is immense to awaken latent intuition, enhance spiritual insight, and connect with universal energies that most people never perceive. But to access these capacities, one must approach it with care, respect, and deliberate practice, understanding that it is both fragile and profoundly powerful. In the next section, we will explore practical applications, techniques, exercises, and lifestyle choices that can activate, protect, and harness the full potential of the pineal gland in everyday life. Activating and maintaining the pineal gland is not a matter of quick fixes. It requires consistent practice, awareness, and care. Think of the pineal gland as a delicate musical instrument. Left untuned, it produces little more than static. Carefully maintained, it resonates with clarity and harmony, capable of generating profound inner experiences. There are several practical approaches you can adopt to awaken and protect this mysterious organ. Meditation and visualization. Regular meditation is perhaps the most direct way to stimulate the pineal gland. Focus on the space between the eyebrows, imagining a radiant light or a small sun glowing at the center of your forehead. Visualizing this light expanding and pulsating can help activate the gland's subtle energies. Techniques like mindful breathing, mantra repetition, or even guided meditations specifically designed for third eye activation can amplify these effects. Detoxification and diet. Modern lifestyles expose the pineal gland to substances that may inhibit its function, including fluoride, heavy metals, and processed foods. Reducing exposure to these elements, drinking purified water, and incorporating foods rich in antioxidants, such as leafy greens, raw cacao, or pine nuts, can support the gland's health. Ancient alchemists and esoteric practitioners also emphasized fasting and dietary discipline as a means to purify the body and enhance spiritual perception. Light and sun exposure. Since the pineal gland is photosensitive, natural light plays a crucial role in its function. Gentle sun exposure at dawn or dusk, without staring directly at the sun, can stimulate the gland and regulate its circadian rhythm. Spending time in nature, allowing sunlight to reach your eyes indirectly, and avoiding excessive artificial lighting at night can enhance its natural rhythm and responsiveness. Sound and vibration. Certain sound frequencies, music, or chanting can resonate with the pineal gland. Binaural beats, sacred chants, and harmonic tones may facilitate meditation and inner vision. These vibrations can be thought of as subtle keys that unlock latent energetic potential within the gland, allowing it to tune into higher frequencies of consciousness. Mindful awareness and intuition practices. The pineal gland is closely tied to intuition and inner perception. Daily practices of mindfulness, journaling intuitive insights, or reflecting on dreams can strengthen the connection between conscious awareness and the subtle perceptions facilitated by the gland. The more you cultivate inner attentiveness, the more finely tuned your inner eye becomes. Ritual and intent. Ancient teachings often paired pineal gland activation with ritual, ceremony, or intention setting. Even simple rituals, like lighting a candle during meditation, creating a sacred space, or setting a clear intention for insight, can reinforce the energetic connection and amplify the gland's potential. These techniques are not just symbolic, they are practical steps that gradually align the body, mind, and spirit. With consistent practice, the pineal gland can shift from a dormant organ to a conduit for heightened perception, deep intuition, and profound spiritual insight. Yet, it is important to approach this work with patience and respect, understanding that awakening the third eye is a gradual process, not a sudden event. In the next section, we will conclude by synthesizing these insights and reflecting on the transformative potential of fully understanding and awakening the pineal gland. The pineal gland is more than a tiny organ buried deep within the brain. It is a gateway, a mystical antenna, and a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. From the ancient Egyptians to Hindu yogis, from Descartes to modern mystics, this small, pinecone-shaped gland has been revered as the seat of perception beyond ordinary senses, the hidden key to intuition, and the doorway to higher consciousness. Throughout this exploration, we've seen how the pineal gland functions biologically as a regulator of rhythms, yet also contains the potential for experiences that transcend the ordinary. Its production of melatonin and DMT hints at a natural mechanism for spiritual vision, while its sensitivity to light, vibration, and intention positions it as a true interface between the inner and outer worlds. Across cultures, traditions, and centuries, the message has been consistent. When cultivated with care and respect, this small organ can awaken latent spiritual potential. Practical steps, meditation, diet, sunlight, sound, and mindful awareness serve as tools to activate and protect the pineal gland. These practices not only enhance intuition and spiritual perception, but also foster clarity, balance, and connection to the deeper currents of existence. Yet, the awakening of the pineal gland is not merely an esoteric goal. It is a path toward understanding yourself as part of a greater whole, attuned to the rhythms of life, nature, and consciousness itself. As you reflect on this mystery, consider the possibility that within your own mind lies a doorway to the infinite. The pineal gland is more than a biological curiosity. It is an invitation to perceive reality differently, to awaken your inner vision, and to step into a life of deeper insight and awareness. The next time you feel drawn to meditate, to observe your dreams, or to sit in stillness at dawn, remember that you are not just caring for your body, you are tending to the very organ that can reveal the hidden dimensions of existence. In unlocking its potential, you unlock a part of yourself that has been waiting silently for centuries to awaken. The mystery of the pineal gland is a reminder. True vision comes not from the eyes, but from the awakened mind and the illuminated soul.